I'm Abonga Nkwelo from Appletree Group, and 2017 proved to be quite a significant year for me from a rugby point of view. I'd actually stopped playing rugby for a good 5 years or so and really focused on work and my career. But in 2017, I was also going to get married on April 27th, and my wife comes to me and she says to me, lose weight my way or lose weight your way? To be honest with you, I wasn't interested to even hear what her way was, but I knew that I needed to get back to something that I know, and what I know is the sports field, which is rugby. So I actually was never even meant to play. I really was wanting to focus on the pre-season training. I knew that if I could get a pre-season under my belt in February in the humidity, then I knew that I'd be well on track to losing the weight and getting into wedding suit weight, so to speak. So I signed up. I went back into my old rugby club and for a local club here in Durban. And the first couple of weeks were painful. But what gave me solace, I can imagine, was just being involved in a group of guys that were feeling the same pain that I was feeling. We were going through the same emotions. We were going through the same pain, the same sort of training. And this brotherhood again was forming, which was something that I was very familiar with. So as I was going home, it hit me that this is why professional sports people struggle with the transition from professional sports to just being professionals. And not long after that, I'd actually picked up a newspaper article and I'd seen a professional rugby player from Australia, Dan Vickerman, had committed suicide. And there was a lot of secrecy that surrounded his passing away. One brave reporter was brave enough to report around that actually Dan, who was a qualified quantity surveyor and had a master's in business administration from the University of Oxford, was battling with the transition of sportsman to just professional. And there was this longing and desire to get back into something that he knows. In one of the articles that was written, it says that his wife said that it felt like for a long period of time, Dan had lost his identity of who he was. So one thing that rugby teaches us, and it's a lesson that's good for the rugby context, but not necessarily for the life context, is we don't whine, we don't whinge, we're not vocal about our pain. We almost use it as a measuring stick of how hard we are. So if it's broken, you just put it back in place and you get on the rugby field. If you sore, you strap it up and you get onto the field and you carry on playing. Now that serves you well when, I can imagine, well I believe it serves you well when you want to play and you want to be on the field and you want to represent. But what it innately does is it breeds a culture of silence amongst rugby players when they're suffering more than just the physical pains of a broken nose or a broken finger. That there's emotional brokenness that happens to players who are transitioning from professional sports into the big world, and they're not vocal about it because all they've ever known is to plaster it up or to bandage it up and carry on, and maybe things will get better. So my vision going forward for this professional environment, or rather for professional sports people, is to create a culture of conversation. I sincerely believe that as human beings, we're wired for connection. But the more silent we are, the more miserable we get. If we create a space of me too, people connect on that level, that, hey, I'm not the only one that's going through this. The Me Too experience creates an environment where people chat about this kind of stuff, like, where are you suffering from? Where are you coming from? Where's your hurt? So there's a lot of different hurts, but a lot of people are hurting in the same way. And what strikes me the most throughout all the conversations that I've had is the one key thing that every professional rugby player has said to me that's retired is, no one prepares you for this.